Alright, so here's number 9. It's this triangle here, and they want the length of x right here. Here's x. Notice they give us some instructions, and this reminds us of a question from the homework. They say round intermediate values. Well, an intermediate value, intermediate just means in the middle or in between. This would be like a value y if we were going to use another value, solve for one to get x. They say round them to the nearest tenth. You need to remember that. And then use the rounded values to calculate the next value. And they also want our final answer to be rounded to the nearest tenth. We're just remembering that as we're moving. So we're looking at our triangle here. I notice I have an angle and I have some sides. So I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA probably. Now x is this side down here. Right? There's the angle. This would be like hypotenuse. This would be opposite. And then this piece over here would be adjacent. But I notice I only have one side. In fact, in order to solve this, I either need H or A. But I can't really find A with just that information. But I look next door and I see that we do have another angle with a side length. Right? Here's another angle. 54. Now this one has A, O, H like that. So we can actually find this length right here. We can find it if we use 54. If we use 54. Well, using 54 as our starting point, our starting angle, right? We have A and we want to find O. We want to find O. In fact, we might even call this Y. That would be an intermediate value. Our intermediate value Y. Well, if we have A and we have the side opposite, O and A is tangent. So I'm going to use the tangent of 54, which is Y over 20. I'm going to use that to find that intermediate value, that other side, before I find X. Well, I'm going to times by 20. 20 times the tangent of 54 equals y. And now that y is alone, I can just plug in that stuff on the other side right into my calculator. So y is 20 times the tangent of 54. And again, remember they want intermediate values rounded to the nearest tenth. So we're going to do 27.5. 27.5 equals y. Well, now that we have that side, we can solve for x. Well, from 66, x is the opposite, and y is the adjacent. So again, we're going to use tangent, opposite and adjacent. Well, the tangent of 66 equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is y. And we know that y is 27.5, so we can just take that y out and plug it in, 27.5. And now we do just the same as before. We times by the denominator. These cancel and leave x alone. So we can just plug this right into our calculator. X equals 27.5 tangent of 66. They wanted our final answer rounded to the 10th as well. So this is going to be 61.8. And our unit, we don't have units, so we don't have to put them on. 61.8.